Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them. I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the Marvel fan site that'll have plot synopsis and character bios for this issue. Marvel Superhero Secret Wars number 12 out of 12. Double-sized issue, cost you $1 back in 1984 after the Big Bang, as Doctor Doom has killed everybody. This is a great cover here. So when I was 12 years old, when this series first came out, these were available in the newsstand, but I didn't always get them. I grew up in Puerto Rico, and during this time it was I didn't always get to go to the grocery stores when my mom and my grandparents would go, so sometimes I would go and I would pick up issues here and there. So I never got this when I was young. I actually read this then in high school. I ended up getting the issues in high school, but then I lost them, so I ended up buying them again. I actually have all 12 issues. I have some really, really nice copies before COVID, way before COVID. I went on eBay, and I think I got all 12 issues for like $50 or something like that at that time. So, can't get that now. So, anyway, so I never knew how this series ended, and so this is really, really, really good. So, all right, like I mentioned, this is a double-sized issue here, and we're gonna get going on it because, believe it or not, a big part of this is exposition. So, all right, Jim Shooter, Mike Zeck, and John Beaty. Now I'm gonna go through a couple of pages that I don't believe John Beaty inked because they're completely different. I'm going to tell you who I think inked them. And so, nothing to fear, as we've got the broken Captain America shield in there. And Jim Shooter tells us that our heroes are dead. D-A-D, dead. All right. And so, just some exposition here showing the carnage, and we're getting a backstory. We're seeing Zaji here, who sees the destruction here, and so now we are at Doctor Doom's citadel or tower or whatever, and you can see this here. Claw says, "Doctor Doom, it's over. They are dead." And Doctor Doom says, "Yes, Claw, they are dead." Now, this version of Doctor Doom with this costume was designed just to sell the toys. This was a new version of Doctor Doom, because Doctor Doom will go back to wearing what he always wore. This whole comic book was done for nothing more than to sell toys, but it's really good way to sell toys. So this is a very enjoyable story. So, and you can see the beginning of why put things on people for no apparent reason that Rob Liefeld is going to take to the max. So, and so Dr. Doom says, "Now, once again, I shall draw the power in, contain it, seal it up safely within the depth of my being." And Claw says, "Seal up the power, God's might in a can. Thus, Doom is just another man. But why?" And Dr. Doom says, "Lest a careless moment of casual flick of thought of my little finger might blacken a star system or wipe out an intergalactic civilization. Lest, like Vinshu, I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. The universe is too fragile." So, and Claw goes, "Such power, such weight upon your shoulders. Poor Doom." And so he goes to rest here, after he spent all last issues saying how he had outgrown such paltry human things here. So Claw's making him comfortable here, but the power is bottled up. Now all the people on all the worlds can breathe easy and relax, and so can Doom. And Doctor Doom says, "Yes, now that my enemies are dead." And Claw says, "Are you sure they're dead? I mean, that's what you said, but." And Doctor Doom is like, "Of course they're dead. They must be dead." And so we're going to get more exposition here. So, real quick, this is a suburb of Denver that the Molecule Man is taking on. Here is the battle world here. So, they haven't gotten too far here. And you can see Dr. Octopus is getting restless here. And the Enchantress is going to go in this bathroom and draw up a bath, but she's actually not going to take a bath. She's going to call Elemental, the controls the water, and she's going to get exposition. Basically, we're just going to get exposition. She's has a connection because of water to all the water molecules in the universe. I don't know, something like that. It's explained here, but it's rather, So we're going to get exposition as to everything that has happened with the Beyonder, the bringing up. Where basically, if you missed the first 11 issues, Jim Shooter is going to get you caught up here. So she wants to know what's going now, and she's like, "I don't know. I don't have the power to reach that." And Enchantress is like, "Then I'm going to boil you." So of course now we're getting a recap of everything that happened, and on the knock on the door, and Enchantress is just so mean, and the Absorbing Man says, "Hey, did you fall in anytime this week, Enchantress? Some of us ain't immortal." And so she walks away, and he's like, "Man, she looks the same. I don't think she took a bath." Huh, women. So, all right, the Lizard's had enough. He's starting to flip out on the enemies here, and they're all gonna trounce on him. And Volcana's like, "Oh, leave the poor lizard alone here." And we're gonna get home soon, and Dr. Octopus has had enough. Soon he's all like, the universe is too big, we'll never get home. And he busts the door of her apartment, and the Molecule Man suddenly appears there. And he says, "I've been practicing using my powers now that Doctor Doom freed him from or removed the mental blocks." I guess they were always there. If you remember that Molecule Man isn't stable here. And Doctor Doom is all like, "Get us home." He's like, "I will." And so while they're arguing here, the Enchantress calls Volcana, and while they're ready to fight, suddenly the Lizard realizes, hey, she's gone here. So she's going to use her life force here. And so Volcana goes, "Hey, how'd I get here?" And she says, "I summoned you. The time has come for you to repay the debt you owe me. We made a bargain, remember? You wished to be transported to your lover's side, and you offered me anything in return." That was in issue number 7. Again, I have a playlist with this. All 12 issues are available there. And Enchantress goes, "Now I have need. For I have learned the fates of all beings, gods, men, and demons alike, are in peril at this moment. I must return to Asgard immediately to warn my people. But the distance is too great. I need more power to teleport. So far, draining your life force shall afford me that power, and of course kill you." She's like, "No. A mystic covenant is binding. You cannot resist me. Prepare to die, Sal." Oh, she's so mean. And so Molecule Man says, "Hey, look, the stars." And of course, Dr. Octopus thinks it's a trick because the Beyonder had destroyed everything. And Molecule Man says, "I set the universe back because, just needed a little practice." And Dr. Octopus like, this is lying. I refuse to believe this. So it's going to crush poor Molecule Man. But he uses his powers. And Dr. Octopus continues, so Molecule Man just kind of traps him here. And Molecule Man says, "It's for your own good. A good therapist can do wonders. Isn't that right, Marcia?" And that's, of course, Volcana. He's like, "Marcia?" And the lizard lets him know that the enchantress took her, and Molecule Man is like, took her. And so he's wondering, and so of course, the enchantress is doing her incantation. She's an enchantress, so she's not doing, not doing magic. It's an incantation, and she's like, the time has come. But of course, the villains show up to be heroic, and the lizard's like in rampaging mode, and jumps in as she tries to teleport. It would have been nice if he teleported in half, but he teleports completely with her, and boom, and she's like, my face. So she kind of gets a little what's coming because she's so vain, so getting her in the face is actually pretty good. And so she burns him, and she's gonna try to make it to Asgard. And so that's the last we see of the Enchantress in this series. We're done with her. And actually I think we're done with the villains except for Doctor Doom. And so Claw is sneaking around. We all know Claw's got something inside him. We'll see what it is in this issue here. And so Doctor Doom is kind of asleep here. And he wakes up, and he's like, Claw, I nearly fell asleep. Or, well, maybe he was. I told you not to let me fall asleep. Don't you realize what might happen if I slept? The power might rise. And Claw's like, oh. And so he needs to control it. And he's like, or maybe you even accidentally revive these heroes. So he keeps playing on Doctor Doom's. He says there's no humanity, but of course. Now, I think this page was done by Alan Milgram. I'm pretty sure. So this page is one of those that I told you is a little bit different. I think this page is Al Milgram here. Just the thick lines, a lot different than Klaus Janson. So this looks like Al Milgram. Anyway, Doctor Doom says, "Speak no more of them. They are dead." And Claw's like, if you didn't recreate them somewhere along the line without realizing it. And of course, Dr. Doom's like, I did not. I'm in full control of this power. I know what I have done and whom I have undone. And Claw's like, there is another way. And Doom is like, another way they might yet live? And just what is it, pray tell? And Claw says, well, they could wait. I'm master of sound. I can make 3D images from solidified sound energy. I'll use them to act it out for you. I'll be a play. Which is kind of funny. This is what Dazzler can do. She can turn sound into basically light energy. So Dr. Doom says, very well, go on. And so we see Zaji seeing the destruction. He's narrating here. And so she goes out there and revives Colossus and uses all her might to revive Colossus here. Colossus loved her, and of course she ends up dying, and he's so sad, and Claw's being all dramatic, and you can see the tears in Colossus. Colossus then gets Reed Richards, puts him in that healing chamber, and restores him, and you can see Dr. Doom like, what the hell? And Dr. Doom, or no, I'm sorry, Mr. Fantastic here, who's incredibly smart, puts everybody in there and fixes them here. Again, I still think we have Al Milgram here inking instead of John Beaty. And Dr. Doom says, perhaps, but maybe you sort of help things along. Oh, no, that would have been Claw. Maybe you secretly, subconsciously wanted them to survive, to rise from the ashes and live again. And Doom is like, you speak madness, Claw. Oh, why didn't you completely atomize them then? The old blow them apart with a bolt from the blue trick suits your flair for the dramatic, but there must be dozens of surer ways to kill them. That's true. I killed them surely enough. The mad scenario you suggested is sheer nonsense. There's an easy way to make sure, says Claw. Just turn the power on and use your godlike conscience to check on them. And she's like, all right, I will. Go ahead, Doom. Do it. Go ahead. And Doom's like, Curse you, Claw. Now that you told me your wretched tale, if I make it come true, I may make it come true if I let the power rise. My dearest stray thought, the slightest doubt may alter reality. But if I do not let the power rise and refresh myself, eventually I shall grow weary and fall asleep. And then, this is madness. I must drive these thoughts from, these thoughts from my mind. They are dead. Dead, dead. And yet, how many times in the past have I thought that Reed Richards was dead? And if there was one man who might overcome the odds, is it not Captain America? No, no. They are dead, says Reed Richards. And again, I still think we have Al Milgrom on inks. Suddenly, kaboom, as Mjolnir comes through the wall. And Claw's like, well, then again. And this, as I mentioned, this was set up to sell toys. So you can see here on the inking how different. If we look from here, with the thick brush lines, and then here more of a pen. Al Milgrom is a brush artist, so I think there was issues getting this book out on time, and so they live. It's true. It happened. I must let the powers rise, destroy them again. And Claw's like, "Hey Doom, what's wrong with the power?" As it's kind of getting high wire, and so you can see it here. And he's like, "Close, very close. I nearly destroyed all reality, Claws. The power ran wild. If I was barely able to rein it in, my mind is churning, thoughts racing, making it difficult to govern the power." And Claw's like, "You need to calm down, relax. Hey, I've got an idea. I'll destroy the heroes for you." And Doom's like, "You, just give me some of your power, and I will do it. In the meantime, you can, take it easy." And Doom's like, "Very well, touch my hand." He's like, "Oh boy." He's like, more. And Doom says, "Enough. I have given you an infinitesimal microfraction of my strength. Enough to blacken 10,000 suns, far more than enough to slay them. Go then fight, while once again I contain the power and compose myself." So here come the heroes. And Captain America, with his broken shield, is like, "Everyone attack." And so we've got Wolverine, Cyclops, Hawkeye, Rogue, Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau at that time, the Human Torch, Iron Man, who was Jim Rhodes. We've got Thor, we got Hulk, we got Spiderman, of course. Now he's got the symbiote suit. And Storm, she's got her powers. Hanging on to Professor Xavier, we've got Mr. Fantastic. We got Magneto. Yes, I say Magneto. She-Hulk, and then Spider-Woman. Who is Spider-Woman now? I think it's the new Madam Web, maybe? Or I don't know. I could be wrong. But she's not Spider-Woman anymore. All right. And so they're making their way here. We got Cyclops here, the Wasp, and the Wasp was right here. I missed her completely. And so I love this. I love the screen tones being applied to Wolverine here. And suddenly here now we got this monster created by Claw, and now they're gonna have to fight it. Everyone is on screen tones. And you can see definitely a more controlled ink line versus when Milgrom was inking, and I'm pretty sure that was Milgrom here inking those pages. And so here we are fighting, and this, I am positive, is Arthur Adams. I believe Arthur Adams inked this page. And so this monster is attacking Ben Grimm, who can turn back and forth. Something happened in this planet is allowing him to control it here. So between him and She-Hulk, they hit these creatures. I am, like I mentioned before, especially here, I am 100% sure that this is Arthur Adams. So inking this, and so you've got Hulk taking care of Ultron. So, yeah. So, all right. Ultron now hits Hulk and breaks his leg, and everyone is gonna attack Ultron. And Ultron was in the service of Doctor Doom, but then he kind of just blows up here. And Iron Man's like, his warranty must have expired. So, all right. And so, still more stuff. Steps on poor Ultron here. And this one, I believe, is Walter Simonson. So, I believe Simonson is the inker of this page, and you can't convince me otherwise. It could be Art Adams, but I think it's Simonson. What do you guys think? Do you think it's Arthur Adams or Walter Simonson? It just the way here, I don't know. I think it's Simonson, but it's hard to tell 100%, but it could be Arthur Adams. So obviously between Al Milgrom, Arthur Adams, and perhaps Walter Simonson, but it could be Art Adams as well. I mean, he may have done. I just think that John Beaty just had a hard time getting this. So, I love this here. Captain America hitting Claw, and Captain America goes inside. Of course, Claw wasn't down. He's like, perfect, and so Captain America makes it. And he's drinking. He's not even worried. He's like, Captain America, if one among your group could get this far, it would, of course, be you. And so he puts, I like this detail. He puts the cup away. He says, it does not matter, of course. You have won your way in here. There's nothing you can do to harm me. No way in all the infinite universe that a mere mortal could conquer one who is omnipotent. And Captain America says, I won't be too sure about that. After all, you conquered the Beyonder, and why would you have gone through all the trouble of killing us in the first place unless you were afraid? And of course, Doom is like, enough! You shall not conquer me. Behold, I let the infinite power, the power which makes me supreme and invincible, rise, and let the universe be aware. And Claw's all happy and glee here. So, Captain America is going to charge at Doom, and Doom just destroys him here. Die, Avenger, says Dr. Doom. But after he atomized them, Dr. Doom is like, it's finished, over. Now I must calm the raging storm in my soul, bring order to my thoughts, lest the random spillage of cosmic caused by my inner unrest cause the unthinkable. He's like, oh no, as we get Captain America. So Doom keeps bringing him back. Doom keeps doing this, and he's like, no, just die. And so he does it again, but here he comes again, and Dr. Doom is not able to control the power. It keeps actually bringing him back, and Captain America says, this is it, Doom. Great. Captain America's so heroic here. And he crumbled without being touched as Doom is falling here. He has my winning this fight meant that the loser of his inner conflict is the universe, meaning Dr. Doom is getting things going in here. And Captain America says, Doom, listen to me. You're losing touch with reality. You need an anchor. Let me help you. And so Dr. Doom agrees, and he's like, just now. And he's a Claw. You can see this here. So that comes through here, if you remember from the last issue. And so you can see Dr. Doom is about to touch Captain America. The thing is coming here. Captain America realizes that thing is coming, but it intercepts and takes the power. And of course, it is revealed that was the Beyonder. The Beyonder was inside Claw. He was never truly dead. And so Claw feels bad. He's like gonna save Doom. And now they are teleported away, both of them, leaving Captain America by himself. But of course, we still have 9 pages, so we're basically gonna have 9 pages of, hey, we're gonna get home. So all right, so I think they probably could have done without those extra 9 pages, or perhaps put that battle, made it a little bit more epic, but it is what it is. So we got 9 pages left. So Captain America walks out. He's like, it's over. And they're going to set up, of course, mourn for Saji. Part of the thing that could have been done is these panels could have been shorter, and a lot of the stuff that happens on the next pages could have just been done in like 4 panel grids or 6 panel grids or something. So they're like, we gotta go, and Colossus just is weeping and sad. Of course, we know he comes back and breaks up with Kitty. Keep in mind, this whole story happened over like 8 to 9 days. So boy got in love real quick. This is a nice little panel. And so here comes everybody here. And they're gonna go into the get their costumes, and Peter's gonna be like, hey, I wonder why everybody is able to get costumes and none of them look like his. Of course, we know this is a symbiote. They were doing that later story. So here we go. Everybody's fixing their costumes, and they fix Hulk's leg, and they give him a big crutch here. And he's getting more and more irritable. So Hawkeye's like, hey, you got your left fixed. And he's like, out of my way, Hawkeye, and shut up. So he's becoming back to the Savage here. And then it turns out the Lizard wasn't destroyed. This is Kurt Connors, who is back to his human guys. Spider-Man recognizes and tells everyone. And they're like, hey, where is Loki, Kitty's dragon? No sense in her losing Colossus, basically, and then nothing. But Kitty, of course, comes back with this big dragon. When Chris Claremont returns, this big dragon, of course, becomes this gigantic, or this little dragon becomes a gigantic dragon, and you'll see this here. He is going to, Reed Richards is going to get him home, and we got a lot of words how he's going to get him home. And first thing he needs to do is he needs to fix his shield, and he's going to use the power of his will. Is forced by will or sheer desire, just like that, he fixes this. So comic books, that's what makes them great. So Captain America just made the shield hold just by wishing it. He wished really hard. And so he's gonna send everybody home in groups, and it should take them back to Central Park. And so this is the first group. The X-Men are next, and in like, Colossus, you come. He's like, no. He's all weepy. But Professor X basically says, this is the fact that she died is tragic. All that remains in question is whether or not you will fall into total despair and let it destroy you, thereby wasting the life she gave you. And he cries, and he's like, I shall come with you. Professor Xavier, what a jerk. Good. We are ready, Reed. All right. So they're going to go back to Central Park, but the little green dragon goes in there and screws things up and causes a power thing. So they're like, oh my God, the X-Men are dead. But what's going to happen, instead of showing up in Central Park, they show up in Tokyo. In the air too, so they fell. So Storm and Rogue had to pretty much catch everybody. And so the Avengers are next, and Captain America says, "Where's She-Hulk?" And She-Hulk, of course, is gonna take the Thing's place. He's gonna stay in Battle World, and so he sends the Avengers home, and he says, "Just leave me that gizmo here. I'll send myself home." And Reed Richards is like, yes, Ben, but, and he's like, nope, it's settled, and says, give me the thing. And so the Avengers go, and now we got the Fantastic Four, and the Thing is like, let's get this show on the road. So the Thing stays on Battle World. John Byrne actually will write and ink his series with Ron Wilson doing the pencils, and of his adventures in Battle World before he goes back to the Fantastic Four here. So, uh, Rena's like, "Whatever you do, Ben, don't lose the device." He's like, "Yeah, yeah, I read ya." And so he goes and sits and contemplates, and the story just ends. So there we go. So Marvel Superhero Secret Wars number 12. Did you guys enjoy it? I thought the series was enjoyable. I thought it was cool. Was it a little hokey? Absolutely. But it was the mid 80s. Things were still hokey back then. So I don't know. So I really like it. And then what do you guys think? Arthur Adams or Walter Simonson on that second page that one we could clearly tell was Arthur Adams, but the other one I thought was Walter Simonson, using the style that he had back then. I know that now he does different, but perhaps it was Arthur Adams. I can see it. So anyway, like and subscribe, and I do thank you for listening. The series is now done. Hope you liked it. Goodbye.